How's everybody doing? Welcome back to another video, guys. Blue Monster here. I hope you're having a great Sunday. Happy 4th. It's the 5th today, but happy 4th for yesterday since I didn't have a video. But yeah, today I'm going to talk about some things. Not really going to have gameplay, but I'm going to try to help some of you guys that have a lot of questions about Severog. I get a lot of questions about why do you use Crix? Like, why not Yggdrasil or like other Eternals? Questions about like builds, and then also like the biggest question is like how to get through laning phase, right? So I'm gonna talk a little bit about that. And then we're gonna pull up like a VOD and like I'm gonna skim through it and just kind of like give you guys a visual representation of how to kind of get through lane and yeah, hopefully this video helps you guys, and thank you guys so much for the recent subs and the comments and love on the channel. I want to keep continuing to post like these helpful tutorials, so if you guys like it, please drop me a sub. It helps me so much, and give me some feedback like what you guys want to see. That way I have things to work on and like things to provide you guys, so hopefully it helps. But first things first, guys, we're gonna talk about the Eternal. It's quite simple, to be honest, and why I think Crix is the best. And it's just the fact that Severog scales so well with HP. His entire kit just benefits him so much on HP. So we'll look at the Eternal first, and then we'll look at his kit and kind of explain why. The Crix Eternal simply, as everyone knows, just boosts max HP, right, based on level. The blessings, I choose regenerative tissue. Now that they reworked festering wounds, I feel like that might be an option, but for me, I like regenerative tissue. You guys will see why towards the later game if you watch any of my videos or my Twitch VODs. Regenerative tissue scales incredibly well. You get to a point in the game where you have 120 health regen, something ridiculous, right? Not in fight, but after fighting, you could be hitting mini prime, you could be hitting orb prime, fang tooth, camps, whatever, and you will continue to regen. The only time that regen leaves is when you're in hero combat, right, or taking hero damage. So I think regenerative tissue scales incredibly well. And then cannibalism, I use cannibalism, more HP on takedowns. I think feeding frenzy is an option, but for me, I just want to be a straight tank. That's how I like to play Sev. So yeah, I think that max HP helps a lot. So that's kind of it for the Eternal. Now we'll go over to the character and kind of like explain how they work together. So as you guys know, Sev has stacks, and at each threshold he gains a large amount of HP, right? So you combine that with Crix, it's just scaling even more, and then he basically infinitely scales with HP. Every soul is 2 bonus health, so as the game progresses, the more HP you have, the more Crix value you're getting, right? So that's the main reason Crix is so good, because this character infinitely scales with HP. And then you combine it with something like this, his Siphon. So if you guys didn't know, his Siphon steals health. I'm sure most of you guys didn't know that. But at a certain point, you steal 2.6% of their max health. And then with the tier 3, it doubles it. So you steal 5.2% of their max health. So you combine that once again with Crix. You are scaling insanely well with HP. So I think that Crix is just kind of like a no-brainer for me. I don't think it's really a contest between any other Eternal. I am a person that likes to play Sev as a tank and tank only. So if you guys like to mess around AP builds, this and that, maybe there's a better build for him. I don't know. But I am just a tank Severog player. So yeah, it's kind of simple when you break it down that way. I hope that all makes sense. I don't think there's really a contest for any other Eternal. So yeah, we could talk about items a little bit, and then I'll give you guys like insight on a few items. For me, 90% of my games I'm starting Fist of Rizul. Just a ton of health, a good amount of haste, and it deals damage based off max HP. and you also heal off of it, and you also clear way faster. I mean, it just has so many good values for Sevarog. You combine it with Crix, it scales really well. You're healing a lot, you're doing a lot of damage. Fist of Rizul is a no-brainer. That's a must-have item, all builds. And then there is use cases for there's only 3 options I do, right? It's either I start Fist, I start Cat Drive if I'm going to a heavy AP comp, like if I'm laning against the Quang Shinbi and they have a lot of AP, or I should say magical damage. So that's my other option, or Tainted Guard. Like, I don't usually complete Tainted Guard. I'll get the tier 2 and then finish Fist and then finish Tainted. But Tainted Guard is like against Gruxes, you know, things like that. Bales, the heavy healing, physical damage dealing characters. So that's it for the builds. If you guys want to see like more on my builds, you go to pred.gg NSBlue, you look up my name, and I feel like that's just the easiest way for you guys to see my builds rather than me sitting here for an hour talking about builds. So that's it for the builds, guys. Oh, and usually it's between Sapphire's Mantle, Razorback, Gamma Gloop's new. I think there is some use cases. I think I'll kind of talk about a little bit about these and then we'll move forward. I think Gamma Gloop can be used for like dealing with assassins like Wukong's, Yuri's, maybe Kalari's. Not really many other use cases, I don't think. I think Razorback is just so good. Like when you're trying to kill backline like ADCs, it's the best crest to do it. Now, if the only time I use Sapphires is like if they don't have like heavy consistent damage, like if they have a lot of like magical dealing damage characters, I usually run Sapphires because they're burst, so I just get more HP. It helps kind of counteract that. I usually use Razorbacks if I'm going for ADCs, and then I use Sapphires if I'm gonna like be trying to kill the mages and junglers, things like that. So it's kind of just depends on like what your goal is in the game. More boots, I don't really use it that much. I just think these other ones are better for Sevarog. I don't usually need movement speed. I feel like I get to my target almost every time, no matter what, if you play it correctly. So yeah, that's it for the crest. So I want to keep this video moving, guys. I don't know why I'm like super tired today. I had a long night with the fourth. I got home super late, but I wanted to, you know, make a video for you guys. So sorry if I'm like moving a little slow or not making sense. Hopefully I am. If you guys have questions, let me know. I will answer them in the comments. But okay, so let's look at this VOD, and then I could talk a little bit about laning, and hopefully this resonates with some of you guys. And yeah, so this one, guys, I went 10-0-3. This game got to a point where they just couldn't win. Like, I was just unkillable. So I want to show you guys how I get there and why, and talk a little bit about that. And then everything I'm gonna say, I'm gonna try to like make it universal language so you guys can apply this to almost any matchup, right? Or any game state. So we'll fast forward it. We'll put it on 4x a bit. So you guys notice, all I'm doing, I'm just chilling, walking up and stacking my minion. That's all I'm doing. It's really not rocket science here. I don't even basic attack the Greystone, because if I basic attack the Greystone, I could potentially ruin my wave. I could drag it towards me, and it could make it where if I ruin the wave state, it could freeze in front of his tower. So that's like the worst case scenario, guys. You don't want to do that, and there's no reason to basic attack the Greystone because you never win that level 1. You just don't. Your character is not strong enough. You don't really win 1v1s early game against like 99% of the heroes, right? There's only some games where like I'm playing into Shinbis or Wukongs where I will be aggressive, but other than that, I don't really think there's any other heroes that you would beat in the early game. So yeah, don't hit the laner, just stack the wave. I feel like this was gonna help you guys tremendously. This is the biggest thing, guys. If you're watching this video and you're actually trying to get better with Sevarog, this is the most important thing. If you guys ruin your early game, you are cooked. You are just cooked. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. It's the worst feeling. It feels like you almost can't play the game, and it's just not good. So don't ruin your early game, and I promise you, you'll notice a night and day difference on playing this hero. Right? All right, we'll fast forward a bit. Basically, rinse and repeat, right? Rinse and repeat. Just trying to avoid him while getting my stacks. Don't be afraid to take a little bit of damage. Your goal is to get as much gold in CS and stacks in the early game as possible without dying. So what does that mean? I don't need a full health bar, but I need a health bar sustained enough to where I won't die. So like, I don't care that I'm half HP. I'm not trying to fight him. I just care if he can kill me or not, right? Now this was a gank by the Grux. It's a little bit awkward considering my wave state. Whatever. The Grux doesn't really waste that much of his time, and it, you know, pressures off the Greystone, so it's fine. It's a little bit of help. Nothing crazy. It doesn't change much for me. But he is scared, so I get to stack those for free. I fake a back here, which low-key underrated strat. Good players usually see it. They know that you're not going to back. And then, you know, not so good players will actually think you're backing, and then they'll start pressing the wave into you. The Grux spins the block again, ganks the Greystone. I root the Greystone. Greystone flash. So that's pretty big for me. I get the Greystone flash. It just relieves me of him being able to pressure me. Also gets his HP bar. So now I have a little bit of pressure to, you know, press the wave in. I'm using this to my advantage because Grux is still in the area. So he's scared to walk up. So I start pressing the wave. This is a little bit different than what you guys would normally see. If I had to give you a universal language like I talked about, what you would see is that the wave would be here still with the Greystone, like if we were to rewind it like 20 seconds. So if the Grux wasn't here, the Greystone would be pressing this wave, and all that would happen is that he would crash it. I would hit the minions here, and he has two options. He can wait for the next wave, or he can get Cyan. Or I guess he can back. I guess he has three options, right? Most of the time, 99% of the time, they're going to go for Cyan. If they go for Cyan here, and the waves are dead, and this wave is walking up, and he's going to Cyan, you reset immediately, right? You want to reset because you cannot play anymore. You have no mana, and you're low on health, and you need to find windows where you can reset. That way you can go back to hit the wave and not lose CS, right? Because I'm getting to that point where he's worn out my mana, he's worn out my HP, so now I need to find a window to reset. And 90% of the time, guys, you will not get first Cyan because you are Sevarog, and you don't care because you're scaling. So he gets first Cyan, you reset. That's your goal. Okay, hopefully that helps. That's kind of a big tip for you guys, I'm not gonna lie. That's his flash, right? So we're gonna skip forward. So now that we're in a different situation, you gotta adjust. I'm pressing it. I still want to reset. So I have a big wave. He can't freeze it. He's too low of HP, but it does kind of stop him in front of the tower. So I'm just getting my last hits. I don't want to miss this wave. So why am I resetting here? Well, this is a good back timer. I know I'm going to miss a few of the ranged minions, but I don't care. I have to reset considering the jungler is back on his red side. Even though Grux is fighting him, it's a little bit... This is just a kind of a weird game as far as jungling goes, but this is still, like, I think a decent back timer. I could stay for these three ranged. I'm going to sack this just so I have a really good timer on him to come back and, you know, either get Cyan or just keep pressure. I just find this to work for me in this situation because I was able to... I'll rewind it. I was able to get the XP from these two. I missed these three, but he can't freeze it. And even if he tries to freeze it, there's nothing to freeze because the waves haven't even spawned yet. So it's just a good timing, I feel. Because I will catch back up, and if he tries to freeze it, he's going to lose his HP, and he won't reset, and I'll just have so much pressure on him that he will be forced to back out of awkward timing. So I hope that makes sense. But I reset. I choose to lose a couple ranged minions. I don't really care, like I said. Now I meet with the waves connecting, so I meet at a good time, right? And one thing I do notice is that he goes to Cyan, and the waves are even now, so I can contest him on Cyan because he didn't play it correct. He didn't play the lane correctly, right? even though he got ganked by Grux, like he still could have played this correctly and he could have reset with me, right? But instead he chooses to be greedy. And a lot of times, guys, if you just play your lane correctly and you know find good back timers, you'll notice your offlaner, they don't know how to play the lane and they'll kill themselves or they'll make a bad play or they'll lose farm to themselves, right? It's like almost nothing that they do. It's just more of like, or something that you do, it's more of like something they do as a result, right? So he actually does get the Scion. It's a risky play for him because if I steal it, then he's just in a really tough situation. So yeah, he misses a few range. It's whatever. But now I get lane pressure. So what I'm gonna do, since it's gonna push anyways, I'm just gonna push the wave in, right? But also making sure I get all my stacks. So keep pushing. We're gonna fast forward it, guys, because it's just a lot of the same thing at this point. At this point, guys, you can fight the Greystone, by the way. You can fight back a bit. You know, you don't overcommit, but you just, you know, use your Qs on them. Your Qs are low mana costs. Don't really use your E and your dash because you don't want to burn all your mana. But you can, you know, throw basics in Q. Like, you don't have to, like, let him bully you anymore, right? Even though he still will win, you could trade, right? So, you just don't ever want to let him, like, do free damage, right? You always want to kind of fight back. But at the end, he still will pressure you because it's still early. At first item, you can start to win. So yeah, I got all my stacks here. He's gonna push. I'm just gonna walk up. He's gonna hit me. I have to back up because I'm gonna die, and then basically the wave's gonna push again. So. So this is the timer I'm talking about, guys. One I mentioned earlier. This is a good example. So remember I said he's gonna get Scion, and yeah, that's your window to back. This is what I'm talking about, right? So now that he gets Scion, I get back. I lose a few minions, so does he, but he gets Scion. But now I'm back and I'm strong, right? So now I can actually win, considering I backed. Let's see. He does have Individual Shield, but I do win this. But I force his ult, which is fine, which is really good actually, because it's like a 3-minute cooldown early game. So because he wanted lane prio, this was a big mistake by him. He jumps into me. I missed the root, unlucky. I honestly don't usually miss those, but it's whatever. That he has no he can't play anymore, and he's basically no ult. So I think I just crashed this and reset for Fist, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so I reset for Fist of Razul. Now I can start to win, guys. You guys will see here. Now I start to trade with him. Even though he's a level up, I'm trading pretty decently, but he doesn't have all the guys, so keep that in mind. So now I'm level 9. Not sure what the Seraph is doing. My Grux gets free mini because Seraph is just being a criminal. So now, you'll notice this a lot, guys, when you're playing tanks. You will never be the target prio, which is like obvious, right? Because you're the tank. Like, why would they try to, you know, target you over like their damage, right? So the Grux, it's target prio. I luckily just get both of them in root. She's dead. Fear both of them. And I think he gets out. Let me see. Yeah, he's going. But that's just what's so good about Sev, right? His CC is just insane. That's why I like to build tank guys, because I like to just be a tank and just CC, and then your team usually can just play the game so easily. It's almost impossible for them not to. So we get Cyan here, and now guys, we're just at a point where he can't win anymore. The reason this game looks so good, guys, is 1, we played the lane macro correctly. 2, we got our CS and our stacks. So if you guys see my CS, I'm at 121. He's at 95, so we're ahead by 700 gold just because of CS. That's how important CS is, guys. Keep that in mind. Like, a lot of people don't really realize how important CS is, but it's super important. That's a 700 gold lead, just off of what, 26 minions. So I think we did get a mini and a Fangtooth, or they got a Fangtooth. So the gold difference is only 100 on OBJs, so 600 from CS basically. So it's, you basically just keep stacking, guys. I don't want to make this video too long, but let me see if I can fast forward a bit. Actually, I'll put it in 4x because it'll actually go back pretty quick. Wait, why is it doing that? Okay. But yeah, it's just a lot of the same thing, guys. Like, he can't fight me, even though he ults. Yeah, I actually kill him here, so we'll rewind it a bit so I can show you guys. Now, keep in mind, guys, Seb does counter Greystone, and so harder matchups like Grux, things like that, you want to have the same kind of mindset as far as stacking. You don't ever want to ego them, guys. You got to make them make their own mistakes. And your goal with Sevarog, if you're playing Sev, you should never be like, oh, I want to win by 1v1 and dominate the lane. I honestly don't think it's like that. Like, you can get to a point in a lot of matchups where it is like that because of the scaling. But for me, it's never like, oh, I'm playing Sev, I'm just going to go dominate and beat this Grux. It's not like that. It's more of like, I'm going to scale, I'm going to be a tank, and I'm going to CC everything in a team fight, and I'm just going to do my job. And I genuinely enjoy Sevarog. So if you don't like that playstyle, maybe Sevarog is not for you. But if you do like that playstyle of being a CC tank, Sevarog is so fun, and you just got to play him correctly and just respect your matchups. You know, you will lose CS to like matchups like Grux. You usually should lose Cyans, but in the end, you do scale, and if you do your job, you will provide more value than the Grux, right, in a team fight. So, I'll rewind it a bit, and I'll show you guys how I win this. So, I mean, he's basically just trading into me. I have Fist, and I have Sapphires. I have, armor already from tier 2 Ella. I have more health, and then I'm just pressing Q. And at this point, guys, he can never beat me. He just doesn't do enough damage, and I'm just too tanky. And my Q is just on like a 2 or 3 second cooldown, so it's impossible for him to win. So he ults. I ult him back. Now, right here, guys, this is important. Basically, he lands right here, and I stay right here. I know he wants to jump, so if I walk up to him, he's going to create a lot of distance, so I keep the distance because I wait for his jump, and he lands basically right in front of me. So I get to root him. I know he doesn't have flash. Actually, I think his flash just came back up, but I don't think it matters. But I E him, basic attack him, Q him. He walks into the stun, and then he's low enough, so I dash back through him. And that's the kill. So at this point, his game is so cooked. It's just FF angle for him. He can't do anything. So yeah, well, you guys will see how big I get in lane. I basically I'll just put the camera on me. I'll just show you guys what I do for the here on out. I think it's like breaking the camera. It's going too fast. Oh yeah, so Seraph pulls up, but then the Grux is there, so I just altered the Grux and she's just dead. But yeah, I have 5,000 HP with 2 items, guys. He gives me mini. I just take 5 camp, push out the lane, take Cyan, push out the lane, hit the tower. Oh no, I don't die there. I thought I could get the tower, but I get it so low here. I just reset, quick back with mini. 220 CS, guys, at 19 minutes. At this point, it's just terrible for them. So I build Fist, Ella, Unbroken. If you look at their comp, they have a Richter, Rena. So I want a little bit of magical armor with a little CC. And yeah, so I just want to live, right? I build that. Go for red. Ult him off the red so I can get it. Take his 2. I mean, I'm just taking all the junglers farm, guys. And they can't do anything about it. Push out the lane again. And right here, I mean, she comes to gank, I'll just rewind it. At this point, guys, it's just easy. I'm 5 levels up on the jungler. Don't know why she's trying to gank. Not sure what's going on. He ults. Yeah. It's just easy, guys. There's not much more to look at. That's kind of what I wanted to show you guys. I'll show you guys my recent games on Sev. And we'll just kind of see how they look. I have been winning on him again. Mostly green. But yeah, that's kind of it, guys. I feel like you guys got the whole point of the video. Hopefully this helps some of you guys. Leave any questions in the comment section. But yeah, the most important thing, guys, is like not egoing your lane, playing the scale, and just making sure that you're farming your CS. Like just play patient. That's the biggest thing with Several. You got to be patient, and you guys will find that the reward is well worth it. This character is so much fun, and he is very good again. People ask me if he's playable. He's definitely playable. I think he's good. I think a big thing, guys, that made him, because he didn't get buffed really. They like changed a couple numbers around. I don't think it really like buffed him that much. But the biggest thing, guys, is that they nerfed ADCs. They nerfed the Xyrus and the Demiurge a bit. So that just kind of helps as far as like making Sev feel better, because the ADCs aren't dishing out the same damage as they were last patch, considering the Eternal nerfs. So that's like the big thing, right? But yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you. Have a good day, boys.